Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about how you can fix anything. I just had a clean look at my credit recently, which when after I filed my bankruptcy for years, I had a credit score that was more like a 2. Today, I'm sitting on a couple of my credit scores that are over 800. And I'm going to talk to you about what it takes to go ahead and fix just about anything. I know you're going to love today's show.
Cowboy.
Welcome to a daily dose of greatness class with your host, Trevor Crane, my daddy. He is going to help you take your life and business to the next level.
Here I come to save the day.
Trevor Crane here, 11-time #1 best-selling author and the founder of Epic Author Publishing, coming to you live every day so you can plug in every day to build your ideal business so you can live your ideal life.
If my daddy can do it, then anybody can do it because he's a weirdo.
You're supposed to make me sound cool.
All right. So back in 2007, my daughter was born and I was on top of the world and I was just thinking that I had it all figured out. I was in love with this gal and we had a baby. Yes, a little love child. We didn't get married or anything. I had thought that was a good idea. I'd never asked her, but I was in love with her and we had this perfect little baby. And I was kind of waiting for the right time. Like I didn't want to get married based on circumstance. I wanted to get married because I knew I wanted to be with this woman for the rest of my life. Now I knew I wanted my daughter. That was never the case. Like when I found out my girlfriend was pregnant, I would have thought I would have made me nervous and scared. And, like I had a couple challenges when I was younger with girlfriends who thought they were pregnant or got pregnant, whatnot. That's for another show. This time in my life, I was nothing but elated. Like the instant thing that happened for me was I was just like, this is the best thing ever because it was meant to be. And in 2007, my daughter was literally born into my hands. So we did a little hippie birth type thing where we didn't have any doctors or anything. We had a midwife, and we trained to do this water birth. And my daughter was born into my hands in my jacuzzi in my backyard. Now at the time, I was making the most money I'd ever made. Like I was doing really well. I was making over 7 figures. I was really excited about my business, really excited about everything, and everything was going great. By 2009, I had lost everything and I was trying to file a bankruptcy. Now, you probably heard me talk about this story before, but I'll just briefly share with you that when I say I lost everything, I lost the money, I lost the houses. I had one house I owned and lived in, and I had an investment property. I lost my cars. I had bought new cars for business and for fun. And I lost all of my physical belongings. And the woman that I was in love with left me, took our daughter, who at the time then was 2 years old, and left me and left the state. So my sense of self-confidence and self-worth was as low as it's ever been. And I had to, when I was going through those challenges in late 2007, early 2008, and all through 2008, I felt like I was the lowest of the low. I thought that the whole idea of even filing a bankruptcy pissed me off so much because I thought that was a lie. I would be a liar and out of integrity. And I was like, this is not who I am. And I was just so upset. And I played the whole game of how to figure out how to avoid creditors. And I was parking my car down at the end of the road in a parking lot, kind of hiding it. I was locking the other one in my garage so that the repossessors couldn't come get it. It was a tough time. Then when I lost the house, I found myself literally homeless. And I changed my phone number. I was avoiding the creditors. They were calling me every day. I just stopped answering the phone for anyone because I dealt with, it was just a tough time. So here's why I'm sharing this with you today is that I think it was last month, we just got our new credit scores. Like we hired this company to help us fix our credit and make sure that it's as good as possible. So, I gave it some time. That was I filed my bankruptcy in 2009. So it's taken a while. Like this is 2018. So it took 9 years to get my credit back. And when you file a bankruptcy, I don't know what your credit score is. It's like 2. But I've never had over an 800 score in my life. And literally, I talked to my attorney the other day and look at this. I've got one of my scores is an 804. That's from TransUnion. 804 credit score. The other one is from Equifax, 806. And then another one, which is Experian, that's 721. So that one, I guess, is still reflecting the bankruptcy, hasn't come off of my credit yet on that one. So that one is still negative. But like, here's why I'm sharing this. Like, what does it take to fix the things that you've broken? Like, I broke my business, I broke my relationship, I broke hearts, I broke the bank account, all of these things. And what does it take? Well, I think that the first thing that had to happen for me is I was going through that time, I wanted to blame other people. First thing I was like trying to blame the guy that screwed me, that caused this whole bankruptcy thing in the first place, and the lawsuit and da-da-da-da-da. So the first thing I had to do was look in the mirror and take responsibility with the guy looking back at me. And that was the beginning of just me taking ownership of the situation that I was in. Instead of blaming other people, just to own it 100%. That this was mine. I did it. And I actually called up the guy that I thought had screwed me, and I apologized. This was a tough one for me because he had, lied and cheated and stolen my opinion, right? And instead I just said, I'm sorry. And I shook hands with him, and I dropped the lawsuit, and I sold him some of my equipment that I had to just try to get out. Like I needed out. I needed a clean slate. So the first thing I needed to do was, I had to look in the mirror and take responsibility. But the second thing I needed to do was to do the hard things, to do the things that like I didn't want to do. I didn't want to tell that guy, I didn't want to tell him it's okay. I didn't want to say I'm sorry. I didn't want to sell him my shit for pennies on the dollar. I didn't want any of that. But I had to do it. I had to own all of it. And by the way, when I finally reached that threshold, when I was like, okay, that's it. I now need to take responsibility. I need to start doing the things every single day that are going to equal give me the quality of life that I want. It did not get better. It got worse. It was after I made the decision that I lost the house. It was after that decision that I found myself homeless and staying at friends' houses and sleeping in the one guy's basement and the same guy's attic at different times, depending on the house we were in. I stayed at my buddy's mom's house in his little sister's room. They kicked her out and let me stay in that room. Like, it sucked. And here's the thing is oftentimes we think it's got to get better really fast when what it takes is a little bit of work. Today I've had this discipline of exercising every single day. I did my run or Stairmaster thing this morning, about 30 minutes today. And it's over 2,000 days that I've done that every single day. What I am gaining through the daily discipline of taking action on just the little steps that I do. I only have to work out for 20 minutes a day is my rule. And sometimes it's just stretching. Is just I'm gaining this muscle that says that I can accomplish anything given enough time and enough work. So my little 3-step formula for you here is that you got to look into the mirror, number one, and just take responsibility. So what area of your life do you have something going on for you that needs to be fixed? For me, at that time, holy shit, like I needed to fix everything. I was a bad father. At least that's what I had dreamt up. I was a bad boyfriend. I was a bad partner. I was a bad businessman. Like I needed to fix freaking everything. My credit was completely obliterated and gone. My sense of self-worth was 0 when I focused on that shit. And so I want you to I want you to look at your life and look at what relationships you might have, what areas of your business, what areas of your life that you need to fix. And I don't care how freaking bad and ugly it is. Because what ended up happening is once I looked in the mirror and said, this is up to me, and I'm not going to play victim anymore, and I'm going to find a way. And I'm just going to go ahead, and I know this is going to take some work, and I know this is going to take time. It's responsibility, work, and time. Responsibility, work, and time. And so my challenge for you is to look at which area of your life needs you to fix it, because you can clean up anything. You can fix anything if you take responsibility for it and you know that you own the results that you create in life, good or bad, and that you commit to some consistency consistent discipline of work and you give it enough time, magic, this shit does not happen overnight where I didn't go from a 2 credit score to an 800 credit score overnight. It took 9 years for me to get it. My wife has bought everything for us with anything to do with credit. She's done the cars, she's done the houses, she's done all that shit. I couldn't get credit on anything. And all of my personal relationships also, because when I filed my bankruptcy, not proud of this, but I actually included my mom, my dad, and some other personal debt that I had. And I did that as a gift to them because one of the things they get to do is write that off. And I still have this karmic debt that I owe them. It's crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got to take responsibility for that and pay all them back because that one I did not write off in my heart and in my soul. So at any rate, what I have for you today is to look at what area of your life you need to fix and then commit to do something. That area that's giving you frustration right now and pain and anguish and something you're not happy with, it's okay. Be real about where you are. Assess where you are. Take responsibility for it and then start working towards making it better. I remember when my sister was in Florida years ago, it had to be over 20 years ago, and she had horrible financial responsibility. Like her credit was messy, her money was messy, her apartment was messy. And I remember the day she bought the Quicken accounting software. I happened to be at her house that day. She was loading it on her computer, and I was very skeptical that this was a good choice for her. And I thought, what a waste of fucking time for you to put this software on there. Like, why don't you just balance your checkbook? Well, I was wrong. I saw her begin that day just to take the first step towards fixing up her money and her credit and her life. And now if you go to my sister's house, you see a clean house. If you look at her finances, and I'm not in her bank account, but like the woman is organized. She has savings. She is more organized about her money and about our holidays, holy crap, and giving everybody presents. She remembers everything. Since she was a little girl, we always called her an elephant because she just never forgets. But she started that day with some type of action. So that's my challenge for you today, is to take some type of action that moves you forward so that you can start the work and give it the time. And fortunately, I now have a business, and my wife and I have a business where we work with business owners and entrepreneurs so that we can give you a little bit of help. Because there are many times in my life I didn't have a support network. And I told you that I had friends that still loved me enough to help me when I was down. Hopefully you do too. But when you're looking for someone to help you create a result that you've never created before, there is nothing like having a mentor and a community. Whether it's a brotherhood or a sisterhood, and I am constantly looking for the next level of mentor and community that I can connect with so that I can go ahead and up my game. My challenge for you is to go ahead and, if you want to shortcut the way that you can create results, is to get some help. And fortunately, now I live my life every day with a business and a community that I can go ahead and I'm seeking the mentorship that I need to go ahead and take my business and brand to the next level. And then I provide that for my clients so I can bring them up to the level that I'm at with either books, business, brand, marketing, sales, a lot of things that we do when it comes to just building an ideal business so you can live an ideal life. And we're not alone because we've got help. And oftentimes as humans, we feel alone because we don't have a community around us that needs to support us. And I know you probably have some people that you care about, that care about you, that love you, but maybe you don't have the next level mentor. And I know that there's always a next level mentor that can go ahead and help you and support you and hopefully put you in a community so that you can win, so that you can write that book, so you can build that business, so that you can build the speaking career, so you can build the brand and then have the ideal quality of life that you want to have. And today I'm just very, very grateful. I can't even frickin' believe it. I wasn't even sure that you could get a score over an 800. It blew my mind. I've got 2 of my 3 credit scores at over an 800. And there was a formula to that. I didn't do it alone. I didn't just try real hard on my own. I hired an attorney to help me do this. I took their advice. They told me how to do that, and it transformed. I think a month or 2 before that had happened, my score was in the 600s. because I had just lost track of it. I wasn't paying any attention. And this is the second time I've hired a credit agency to help me fix my credit. So here's the thing. It's going to take responsibility, time, and some work. Your job today is to pick what area of your life you do need to fix up and then take some kind of action towards it and do the work. All right, that's all I got for you today. I can't wait to see you tomorrow on another Daily Dose of Greatness Quest.
To get even more awesomeness, which means all my best stuff, download my app by texting Trevor to 36260. It will show up right on your cell phone. Just text message the word Trevor to 36260. Talk to you soon.